Welcome back. My name's Kirkland. I've been trading for like 2 years. I have been like break even profitable for the last like couple months. So if you're watching this, this is an update on the $200 account. And about a week ago, last week, today's Friday. Market is closed, of course. It is past 4 o'clock. Last week, or it might have been 2 weeks ago. It was either like the 26th. It was like a week or two ago, basically. During one of the weeks, I lost basically $500 on the Dow. Now, at the time, the account was at borderline $700. It was at like $687, I think, like exactly. And at the time, I lost in literally like probably 3 hours. I lost like $500. So the account went all the way back to like $200. I think it was $200 even. And I deposited $195 into the account, so I'm up $5 still, which I'll take it. But basically, I'm just gonna show you exactly how I basically lost all $500. Right, I lost like a good amount of the account. And to preface, the point of the $200 account, it was of course it would have been nice if I could turn $200 into $1,000 and then withdraw and then restart the account with $200 again, right? Although that would have been nice, but really the whole point was to put money in an account, trade live for a bit, and show myself that I can execute consistently. That is really all that matters. It would have been nice to make money, of course, but also the whole point was just to execute consistently with actual money, with how long it takes. It doesn't matter if it takes like 3 months to get it to $1,000. I'll take it. With a higher amount of capital and a bigger account, that would probably be more. But with $200, it's not really much. It's not in the point of making money. It's just to, for research, experimental purposes, right? I've already said that. Okay. So the account is at $200. I'm just going to sum up quickly before I show you what happened. It was on the Dow, the US 30. Basically what happened is I had two positions. Actually, I had three total. The first one was way at the bottom. This one was still open the whole time. The second one, actually, the first and the second one were, which I'll show you the screenshot here in like a couple minutes. Those two were still open. The third one, I add into trades as they go into profit to make my winners bigger. If it goes against me, I'll just cut all of them loose and take a loss of however much. I rarely take full stop losses. But there were three positions that I was in on the Dow. To give you context, when you are in a market like the Dow, like when you're placing it off MetaTrader, placing trades on the US 30 take up a big amount of your margin. So once you enter those, it's kind of hard to enter other trades because it's just so heavy. It just requires a lot of money from your account, especially if you're trading with $200. Once you enter into the Dow, can't really enter many other trades, maybe like one or two, depending on your leverage, of course. So there was one day I was at work and the US 30 just died. It just fell asleep, started going down a lot. One morning, I think it was like the day before this even happened, I was up like $160, $150. I could have closed my account and I could have been at like $800, which would have been fantastic. That didn't happen, which is okay. And the day that the market just fell asleep, went to go take a nap real quick, it just rocketed down. And I'm like, I should close these. I should close these positions because it looks like it's just going to really crash. And so I ended up closing just like one or two at like a $70 profit. One of them stopped out at like a small loss. After that, it's weird. I left that situation with money, actually, with money in my pocket. And I should have just left it at that. And that's where I went wrong, is I didn't. That's when things just start going downhill. I did not stop after that. I was like, dude, that makes me mad that this was supposed to be like a $200 winner on just this alone. It was really close to the target profit, but it just didn't happen. I should have done this and said, I'm done with the US 30. I'll take my money, but I didn't. It's a hard lesson to learn. It sucks. And I basically just kept switching my bias after that, and I kept re-entering heavy because I was frustrated. It's a weird reason to be frustrated when you left with money in your pocket. Doesn't make any sense. So that frustrated me, and so I entered in heavy. And I'm going to explain to you what happened. I'm going to show you the screenshots. So I'm going to put a screenshot here of the history over. It's going to be 2 screenshots over basically what the terminal looked like and how I got to where I am now, which I'll show you right now. So I'm going to move myself. Bear with me. So I'm going to put myself here. Okay. This is where I'm at currently, 226. When everything went down, my account was at $200 even. I had a $26 winner. I think it was on AUD CHF. I ended up re-entering right here on this buy. Let me see. Yeah, okay, no, it wasn't. It was on AUD CAD. Had a nice little winner. It was at 223. Balance of 185. Like, this was I took this screenshot like a day or two ago. Balance is at 223. Still up $35. That's good. I'm not upset at that. This is basically what happened. I'm going to show you this screenshot here. This is it's going to show you like the whole thing, and then I'm going to show you the detail. So this is when everything happened. This is the first position I was telling you about right here at the bottom. This is the second one, of course. This is the third one up here. So to me, this is on the 1 hour. This is like somewhat of I'll go in deeper. But basically right here, because I'm so zoomed in, you can't see the zone, but right here, it's literally like right here with these 3 wicks. Over here to the left, you can't see it because it's cut off by the picture. This was a zone to me. And I was waiting for some kind of bounce from here, and it started to happen. So I entered this first position right here. Then I entered this second position. It kept going into profit, so I'm like, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add. So I added. All of these, I think the stop loss was set to like $60. So I was risking $60. When I entered this second position, I moved the stop loss on this first position to break even. And then this one has a loss of $60, and the stop loss was still somewhere below this wick. Kept going up. I saw another zone here. I entered a third position. And then this is when I was at work. I was at work. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking at my terminal. I'm like, this was still going on. So I'm like, cool, I'm making money right now. Awesome. And then the next hour or so, this just starts happening. And I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of like frantic. I'm like, what is going on? And this kept going down and kept going down, and it was moving so fast that I was like, I think I should close here. I don't trust that this is going to continue. So I closed it. This was at like a small little profit, like 40-something bucks. This one was at like 30-something bucks. This one was at a loss, you can see, because it closed down here or so. Profit, loss. I was up like 70 bucks. I should have just moved on, but I did not. And so now we're having this video. And then right here, literally in 3 hours, from this candle to this one, I lost $500. And I'm gonna show you. So this is the terminal. This is like all the losses going on. Up here, you can see 77.50 of a loss on the Dow on the 21st. So this is like when this was going on. So like the week of the 20th, whenever that was, right? This is more recently. All right, I think I've already showed you that. Now, this is the zoomed in version, and this is kind of funny to talk about because this is on the 15-minute. Okay, so this is where that last third position I was showing you, this is where it closed at, like right there, right here. So there's a couple more arrows above here. So because I saw all of this happening, this is where I went wrong. Mentally, I got in a mode where I'm like, my strategy doesn't even exist in my brain anymore. I basically took it out and said, my strategy, nothing. I don't care about it. I was like, I'm reacting to what is going on right now. I see all this. I'm selling. Shouldn't have done that. And so I entered the sell, and I entered heavy. I entered very heavy. I think it was like 0.1, like 0.1. It wasn't a standard lot, but it was 0.1, which at the time I was risking like 0.05 0.04, 0.02, right? Because it's super heavy when you enter the Dow. It takes up a lot of your margin to enter other trades. And so I entered here because I'm frustrated. I see all of this and I feel like I'm missing out because honestly, the Dow or the US 30 before this was skyrocketing when I had already entered. I was like, man, I feel like a good sell opportunity is coming up. Of course, this happened. Like right when I'm thinking that, I'm like, this was like a day before. I'm like, I think it's going to have a really good sell opportunity. That starts happening and I'm like, oh shit, I need to either close these or get out and find another opportunity. So I sold. I'm in really heavy. My stop loss was like barely up here. It was so heavy that if I were to move it like up here, it probably would have been risking the whole account. I didn't care. In my brain, I literally told myself, I don't even care if I lose this $200. It's just $200. I'll just restart another account. And that's exactly how people blow. That is exactly how it happens. So I entered. It bounced from here. And I was like, man, I should have just stayed in the buy. I should have just kept those two other positions open. I would have been in profit for like 30 minutes. And then it would have kept going down, right? So I got stopped out for that 77.50. And then because I see it going up, I'm like, well, shit, I should have stayed in those entries. So I'm just going to enter another buy again, right? I'm not even following the strategy, which is just support resistance on the higher time frames. I'm not even doing it anymore. That is out the window. I am completely barbaric. I'm in barbarian mode now. And I buy. It goes up for a little bit. I'm feeling temporarily good. And then, of course, in the next like hour, it just plummets. Because we're on a 15-minute. So, like, 4 candles an hour. It just plummets. I get stopped out again for, like, I don't even remember how much it was. It was a lot, though. Like 55, 60-something bucks. Almost $70, I think. And I'm mad. I'm like, damn, I should have just stayed in the sell, right? I should have just, like, moved my stop loss a little higher and just took just risk that much because I didn't care in the first place. So it stops me out, and I'm mad. I'm like, I should have just stayed in the sell. So then, actually, I was like, I should have stayed in the sell. Comes down here, stops me out. So then I see it start going up. I'm like, okay, here we go. Now it's going to bounce. I'm going to buy. So I'm buying. Goes up a little bit. I feel good. I feel temporarily good for like 5 minutes. And then, of course, it drops again. And then I lose money again. And then I'm like, well, shit, I should have just stayed in that original sell back here. Like, why didn't I just stay in that sell? So then it goes down, stops me out. And I'm like, I think it's still going to go up. Like, this is the Dow we're talking about. It's going to go up. It's going to find momentum to go up. So I buy again, and I got stopped out again. And then I'm like pissed off. I'm like, all right, it stopped me out twice when I bought. It's clearly going down. So right here, you can see above this little, bottom red arrows where I got stopped out on that buy. This new red arrow above that is the sell position. I enter heavy again because I'm trying to make it all back. I enter a sell. It stops me out. And I'm like pissed off. I'm like, dude, I don't even care about this account anymore. And I'm just seeing my account go from like $600 balance to like $500 balance to $400 balance to $300 balance. And I'm like, dude, I have to make this back because I'm documenting it. If I make a video about this or post it on Instagram like I have been, it's embarrassing because people are going to see like, oh, this dude lost money. You don't know how to trade. And I'm thinking that, and I'm like, I have to make it all back so I can explain, right? And make it look good. It's not happening. That's why we're making this video. I don't even care. I was embarrassed at first, but honestly, I'm here to show what the fuck is actually going to happen. So I got stopped out. Then I'm like, all right, it's clearly going up now. So then I buy. I'm just juggling buying and selling. So it goes up temporarily for like 45 minutes, and I'm feeling good. I'm at work. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make this money back. And then, I don't even have to explain. You see that. I get stopped out, and then I'm pissed off again. And then I buy. And I think this was like a break-even position. Let me go up and see again. I think it was like a small loss. But I was pissed off. It's a little higher up. Yeah, all that was going on. I think it was a loss. But that basically sums it up, right? I went from $687, right? Like here's that. I could have closed it at like 707. It was higher than that though. It was at 624. I was at 622. Then I think like I was at 683, right? It was going great. Everything was going great. I was on top of the world. Could have closed it at 741. Would have been nice. I don't think I took a proper screenshot, but I could have closed it at like a little over $800. So, yeah, I already showed that. So that sums it up. Now, I show all that because the title of this video is like, what keeps people from being profitable? Or what keeps people from even getting to break even in the first place? I'm going to move myself to make myself bigger because now we're just going to talk about it. But that's like a quick summary. I'm just showing you pictures of like what happened. So it like makes sense. You can see I just kept switching my bias. So for me, I took my strategy and threw it out of my brain and said, I don't care about it anymore. I'm in barbaric mode with my shield and my sword, and I'm ready to fight the US 30. And I got punched in the face. And so like, I'm thinking about all this after. Thankfully, I stopped myself when I got to $200, and I'm like, all right, let's stop. Let's not do anything. Let's just work the rest of my shitty-ass shift and not make any trading decisions for the rest of the day because I'm, like, pissed off. This is how. I don't know if you've even watched my other channel. I'm small on YouTube, right? But if you look back on the older video, you'll see the title, like, I grew $880-something to, like, $3,500. What I just showed you is the exact reason why I blew that account, is because I kept switching bias. I kept buying when it would temporarily go up. I would still, at that time, I would use my strategy, but if it went against me and I lost, then I would just switch the bias of where it's temporarily going. If I bought and I got stopped out, I'd be like, well, shit, all right, I should sell now. So I'll sell, put it above some random, like, recent high or low, excuse me, I had to burp, and say that that's my strategy, and like I'm just trying to basically I'm just trying to make the money back because I hate that I lost. I couldn't accept it. I refused. I wanted to make the money, and I just kept switching my bias, and I kept getting stopped out over and over and over and over, and I was increasing my risk. It's just like three boneheaded things together that create like a boneheaded sandwich, and I just ate all of it. That's the same thing that happened with me trading the US 30. I kept switching my bias. For one, my strategy went out the window. I didn't care anymore. I entered really, really heavy. So if it went against me just a little bit, I lost money, right? And I kept getting stopped out, and I kept switching my bias. I'd buy when I got stopped out. Then I'd switch to a sell. Then it'd go up, and I got stopped out. Then I'd enter a buy again because I was like, see, I should have just held that first buy position open because now it's starting to go up. And then it'd go down, and I get stopped out. It's just that, right? While all that is happening in my brain, I'm after the fact, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, is this what it looks like for other people when they are not profitable? Because I'm trying to think back when I was not profitable. I can't 100% say that I am. I'm not claiming, right? But I'm experimenting to see if I am with a live account with a small $200 account. Sorry, my computer is sometimes glitches like that because I'm the attachment. Anyways, I'm thinking back and I'm like, is this what it looked like for me when I wasn't profitable on demo? Was it the fact that I just kept losing over and over and over and over? Like I'd buy it at a perfect support zone. Dude, I'd buy at a perfect support zone. Yeah. Like, is this what it looked like for me? And I'm curious of what it looks like for other people. Sorry, I'm talking way too fast. I'm curious. Is it the fact that you enter a trade and you just, for some reason, unluckily, just keep getting stopped out over and over and over and over and over, depending on how much you're risking per your, like, percentage-wise toward your account, right? Like, I'm risking 10% per trade. So if I lose 10 trades, my account's done. But if you're risking like 2%, right? You're risking 2%. If you lose 50 trades in a row, you blow your account. I think it's very rare if you were to enter trades and you lose 50 in a row. I just think that's very rare to happen. So what is like the behavior that's making somebody consistently lose over and over and over? Does that make sense? Because for me, the only thing stopping me from becoming like guaranteed profitable is the shit that just happened that I just showed you. That happens. I lose and I'm like, nah, I'm getting a winning trade. So I'll switch the bias. I'm like, okay, you want to go up for right now? Cool. I'm going to enter a buy then to see how long you can go up. The market would be, it's like the market knew what I was trying to do, and it just do the opposite. And I kept getting punished for it. That is my behavior. That is the thing, the obstacle that stops me. And so I'm curious on what it looks like for other people. So feel free to comment below on like what you think it is. If something like this happens to you, I what I'm going to do moving forward is when I notice this in my brain, I was aware enough to be like, all right, I've lost $500 at this moment. My account went from like $700 to $200. Let's stop. I didn't do that last time, but I did this time. So I guess that's an improvement. But I was angry. I was kind of embarrassed. I was embarrassed to make this video. I was angry that I even lost that much. I'm documenting it, so it's even more embarrassing. But I think that there's power in this because somebody else might be going through the same thing. And who knows, maybe I get over this and finally I take a loss and I'm like, okay, all right, I got burned, whatever. I'll just wait for a good opportunity. That alone is good enough, is to just say like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till my alert goes off on a trade that I know I waited for a proper setup instead of emotional. I know I can tell the difference when it's emotional versus like strategic. In the moment of trading the US 30, it was all emotional, no strategy. Literally told you my strategy was out the door. So that sums it up for me. But I'm very, very curious on what exactly it is that is keeping somebody from being profitable. Risking too much? Experiencing FOMO like the way that I just did of like, oh, I got stopped out, price is going up, let me buy. And then you get stopped out 20 minutes after you entered. And then you get angry, and then you're like, all right, it's going down now? Well, cool, I'm going to enter even more, and then I'm going to sell because it's going down. And you're opening yourself to more risk than you're even logically comfortable with. It's so hard to be logical when your emotions are being triggered, right? And it's just difficult. So that sums it up. But that is the question, is what is it exactly that is keeping people from being profitable, from even being break even? It's really hard to be break even. And it's even harder to be profitable. And I'm just trying to document my own journey of growing a small account to $1,000. And once I can execute strategically for a good while and this account is alive for a couple more months, I think what I'll do is I'll add to this account. I'll probably bring it up to like $1,000 and trade with that and grow that $1,000 to hopefully more than $1,000. But yeah, I'm very curious to know anybody else's experience, because this is the one thing that is really stopping me from being profitable. So if you've watched to the end, I appreciate you. Thanks for even spending time to watch this, but I'm very, very curious, and please share your experience. So thank you for your time, and I will catch y'all in the next one. I've got some ideas. It's just hard to find time with working a lot and all the shit that's going on. So I appreciate every single one of you. This is so fun to do. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your day or a great rest of your night. See ya.